Hi, I'm Tony Northrup, and for Chapter 3 of my book, Stunning Digital Photography, I'd like to tell you about your camera's different autofocus systems. I'm on the beach with Chelsea today doing a fitness shoot. So there are lots of different scenes in a fitness shoot. Some are still, for example, maybe she's tying her shoe or drinking some water. Others are moving if she's running along in the beach. And depending on the type of shot, you're going to want to change your autofocus system. So we'll start with the simplest, which is most cameras' default. It's called a one-shot or AFS. Now, when you have this focusing mode selected, you can push the shutter button halfway and the camera will grab focus for you. Once it gets it, it will stop trying to focus and wait for you to push the shutter button all the way to take a shot. So let's take a shot of Chelsea with one shot selected. One shot is perfect anytime you're photographing a still subject. Now, usually the camera will have all autofocus points selected. That might not be exactly what you want. It might pick the wrong subject to focus on. So most of the time I select the single center focus point. However, if you read Chapter 2, you learned that the rule of thirds is one of the most important compositional rules. When you use the rule of thirds, you want to place the subject off-center. So what do you do if the camera always wants to focus in the center? I use a technique called Focus Recompose. I hold the shutter button down halfway until it focuses, and then I will shift my camera and frame the picture the way I want. Once I've got it framed, I can push the shutter button down all the way. So I'll try that again to place Chelsea in the right third of the frame. Focus Recompose is my preferred technique because every camera focuses the best with the center focusing point. However, many cameras have multiple focusing points and they all might be very usable. Whether or not you can use these other points effectively depends upon the lighting, the contrast of the subject, the speed of your lens, and your camera body. So there are a lot of factors at play. However, if you want to try out the other focusing points and see how they work, you should do that. If you want the subject to be in the right third of the frame, for example, you can select a focus point that is over there. Then you don't have to recompose. You can simply focus and shoot. So let's try that. When you have a moving subject, you want to use continuous autofocus, which is called either AI focus or AFA. This will continue to focus while you have the shutter button pressed halfway. If the subject moves, your focusing system will try to keep up with it. When you push the shutter button all the way, it will take that shot. If you use your camera's automatic modes, you can select the sport mode and it will usually get it done. This allows you to keep track of a moving subject. However, it's not always perfect. Many automatic focusing systems aren't as good as others, and you'll find that you might only get 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 shots. It depends on the lighting, the camera body, and the lens, and many other factors. So put your shutter on continuous 2 and take lots of shots. If you find that your focusing system can't actually keep up with a moving subject, you can do something called a focus trap. With a focus trap, you set your lens to manual focus, then you pick a point where the subject is going to be in the future, and you manually focus there. Then you simply wait. So what I'll do is I'll pick a spot on the grass and I'll manually focus my lens. Then I'll ask Chelsea to run, and when she gets to that point, I'll snap a shot. Let's give it a shot. So to wrap that up, use one shot or AFS if you're photographing a still subject. If you want the focusing point to be somewhere other than the center of the picture, use your focus and recompose technique. You can also try changing your focusing point, but it doesn't always work that well. If you're photographing a moving subject, you want to use AI focus, also known as AFA. That will be a little less reliable than one shot, but it will keep the subject in focus. Just be sure to take lots and lots of shots. If you aren't getting good results with that, then try creating a focus trap. Manually focus where your subject is going to be, and then when they get to that point, snap a shot real quick.